What's going on? It's your boy DameSmiff, and today I'm going to talk with you guys about the full package of an artist and what it really means and how what I've learned from grasping that concept. So, if you're an artist and a musician and this is interesting to you, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Now we'll have more conversations like this. So this evening we're gonna, like I said, talk about the full package, and it kind of popped in my head because I was watching a music video of an artist that I enjoyed when I was in college, and just seeing the growth from where they are then to where they are today, and it made me realize that it was something that they figured out early on as an artist, and it was a really good thing, was that I think the artist in the video at the time was probably like in their late 20s maybe, and then now they're probably in their late 30s. And so the thing I noticed in the video, there was a full package displayed in the video, meaning this was a rapper in the example, but you can use this in most any genres. But this artist had the image, meaning they looked good on camera, meaning they clean cut and they had their outfit looking good. They had a lot of like props, or I guess things going on in the video that express some kind of like thriving or personality and things like that. You got to see a little bit of everything. And then on top of that, they also had images and friends and things like that going on in the video that expressed this as well. And so what that then did in the video is it kind of made you think, okay, this guy is pretty much in a well part of his life. Then the beat kicks in, or the music, and the music was attractive. It was a good beat, it was high energy, and it was really fun. And then once he starts actually rapping or performing, that sounded good as well. Now, this was just the video. So when I say you have to have the full package as an artist, that really means you got to have all these things to make this video work. Excuse me. And the detailed things that go into it, like an editor, a director. You got to have a plan for the spaces you're going to shoot, money for all these props and people, and make sure things are insured and safe and things like that. That's just a video. As an artist, you got to be able to take that same song and that video, put it into a product, either a file or an album or some kind of shelf or a store or things like that, where you can get people to listen to the song after they watch the video, or to get a connection between the song and the video. That takes a little bit more technicality. Now you have to get an engineer or learn engineering. Now you have to get it mastered, get it published, which means you need to find a publisher or publish yourself, and then get it distributed, meaning you got to distribute it yourself or find a distributor and work with them, along with getting the package looking attractive as well. So cover art, the images in the music video, do they correlate with the album artwork and things like that? Does that even matter to you? How much of the album's merchandise are going to correlate to your brand, or is it just this one album's version of merch? There's so many different pieces that can move, that have moved in the past, that can affect how your music career is shaped and perceived by the audience. And so when I'm looking at this artist, I was like, man, he pretty much in his video had the package early on in his career. So then it made me think, how important is it for an artist to have this kind of like overall package entering into the music industry, versus trying to get into the music industry missing some of these pieces and then trying to play catch up? Because in reality, that's where a lot of us are. I'll use myself an example. Like, I got into the music industry independently, so I was doing it through school. So yeah, basically understanding that your full package as an artist takes a lot of different moving pieces that you have to be in control of or put people in place to be in control of. So like I said, in this artist example, you got a music video and a song and things like that. But it got me thinking about what it took to make that successful. And many of the steps I was witnessing were in motion that weren't obvious. Like if I was just a fan watching this music video, it wouldn't be obvious that maybe the cars in the video had to be prepared or bought way before the video or rented or things like that. Or maybe some of the props in the video were actually props. Some of the people in the video were truly friends or maybe truly employees instead of just, fans and things like that. So you're not going to really know unless you're trying to recreate and participate in the industry. And that's one of the things that you're going to have to figure out what works for you as an individual. Because I'm using hip hop as an example, but let's say this was like a punk rock band trying to make a full package. Part of that package is how you're perceived. So if you're shooting a music video and you want to do the we're sitting on a mountaintop with our band just playing in the wind and looking all cool in an ethereal shot, that's fine. But it's going to translate one way versus having that same music video shot in like a one single shot version of that song in a concert, in a concert setting where you get to see the crowd, you get to see people's faces reacting and things like that. It just delivers a different product, a different message to the audience. And so now as an artist, you have to figure out, how do I package all of these things together and make it into a thing that I can consistently just hit the mark. And that's something that you will develop over time with your team and with your network and things like that, especially if you have coaches and consultants helping you figure that out. But this overall package works in a few different ways, but it has the same principles and they kind of work like a skeleton. So I'll give you an example of what that could be for you. That could be, you have your artist, meaning you, and your talent, meaning you have who you are. And we always talk about on this channel that who you are as a person is going to greatly determine the value you bring to the music industry and what you are as an artist. So if you are a person that has, a certain level of morality, a certain level of characteristics and things that present you in a light that are attractive to people, that's going to be a priority for you. And then the next thing you need to worry about is your talent, your skill level. You need to be good at making music and performing and playing and presenting music. The next thing you need to do is, all this is a part of your package, is understanding that now you have who you are, your talent. How can you present this in a way to where people are attractive to you? So that can just be performing your music. We hadn't even got to recording it yet. So if I were to just, start rapping and freestyle on this mic, would it be attractive and entertaining enough for you to not turn it off, right? And so that's one of the things you're going to have to figure out as a musician, as an individual. That takes time, practice. This is why going to school speeds that up, because school already has what fails and what works in the music industry. And they just kind of teach you how to repeat those steps, right? But if you're not going to go to school, yes, you will have to learn these things in real time, meaning perform in front of people, perform in front of people you don't know, perform in front of people that don't know you and things like that. And you got to take the risk to figure out, damn, that sucks. I'm not good at guitar. Maybe I need to go get lessons and things like that. That's great feedback to being a great artist. Getting booed on stage and things like that, it's a good way to figure out, okay, how can I make this package a little bit shinier so that way I can make the purchase or make the sale. And so once you get that personality, you get your skill set, and then now you can understand, like, okay, I do have a thing here. Whenever people hear me play, hear me perform, or hear my music, I do get a positive reaction. Now you can figure out how to turn that into something that is a product, meaning, do you have a certain sound? Is it a certain style? Do you have a particular skill set? What is it that is attracting people to your performances and you as an artist? Sometimes this is another thing that takes time to figure out, but you can literally just ask your fans, or just, if you're a more popular artist that gets a lot of online engagement, you can just read what they're saying about you. And so if people are saying, like, when I go to their shows, they're boring, or if I go to their shows, they're not cute, or I really wish they had some kind of, like, you know, special effects on their shows or whatever like that. That's great feedback. That's awesome. That's going to help you understand, how can I make this package better? To give you a really specific example, for me, when I discovered Tech Nine, like when he finally like moved into my radar as a rapper, one of the things that made me notice him was the image he portrayed. Like, so the hair, the makeup, a lot of the images from his team, his network, and his studio were action photos, meaning like you would see him in motion in the picture performing or talking or, maybe just moving around on stage and things like that. What that then did for me as an individual, it just showed me like, okay, this person is clearly cool with going against the grain as far as how they look, and they're also high energy just based off the photo. It can be misconstrued, he could just be in motion of one action and the photo could be showing something different. But seeing a rapper throw his hands in the air, cheering with the very intense facial expression, that's going to present a certain communication to your audience, and that's a part of the package. And so for me, when I, then got attracted to go look into more music, the thing that kept me there was the energy levels and all the other things that came into the package for Tech Nine. But again, let's reiterate where we are. We're gonna go from you being a cool and awesome person. Next, you have to be talented. Then we got to see if your talent is even cool enough to perform or do people appreciate it. Next, we got to make it into songs and make sure it's packaged right. So, how do you know that the thing that we're attracted to is complete enough to make into a song? So like if you're a really good rapper, how do you know that you make really good songs? So this is a problem that usually battle rappers run into, where like they're really, really good rappers, really witty, and can rhyme anything. They suck at making us dance. They can't do it. They can't make a hook to save their lives. They're just angry all the time. So you only really listen to them when you're angry and want to battle. So they have to really figure out, well, if I want to be of value to the entire music industry, then how the hell do I figure out how to take this talent that I have and package it to people that are looking to dance or looking to just ride around in their car and bop their head to some good grooves? How do I figure that out? And once you do, then you have a product. Then you have a thing that you can say, I offer this to you. What are you willing to pay? And that can be, um, I'm the hottest rapper in my city. Check out my new mixtape. Or, I got this new song coming out. Make sure you're the first to hear it and don't be late. You can find these ways to market your product as long as it has value based on this list that we're making, right? And again, we're going to continue to keep making the package. So now you can make a song. It's a good song. You look cool performing it live, and you also are a cool person, meaning if people removed all the music, they still would like hanging out with you and meeting with you and having conversations with you. That's awesome. So now the next thing you got to figure out is, okay, so if I want to compete, if I want to stay in this game, if I want to make some kind of like footing for myself, then I got to have real estate. I got to have inventory. You got to be able to consistently do this every single day. And if you do run into any hiccups, you got to be able to bounce back. So, what does that look like? That could mean that if you put out a song tomorrow and we tell you it's trash, you should be able to go back into the lab with a level of like diplomacy and say, okay, I learned. Let's see how we can make it better. Versus saying, oh, well, I guess I'm not good enough to continue doing this and then quitting. So, once you realize that there is a thing that you can repeat, there's a thing that you can consistently recreate, that can be your style, that can be working with a certain artist and y'all always come up with something great, that can be just your consistency, just the fact that you are constantly working. There's a lot of ways you can, make meet this metric. But now you have the ability to compete, because other artists, they'll burn out, or maybe their process, their work ethic isn't as thorough as yours. Maybe your work ethic is, I'm gonna put out a song every week, or I'm going to be working on songs every day, or I'm going to have an album every month or a mixtape every month, however you want to measure that. Whereas your competition is like, man, I'll work whenever I feel like it, or I'm going through a mental health break, so I'm gonna take the year off. You see a bunch of crazy shit that you'll see online, but that's your competition now. And so now we have your personality, your skill set, your performance, your product, and now we have your competitive edge, meaning like it's at either, like I said, either your work ethic, you're gonna outwork people, or you have like an immense level of uniqueness that no one else can get from anywhere else. So now you have your competitive edge. The next part of your package is going to have the ability to market this to everybody else. So all of these things we just listed is still not even being promoted, because this is all things you have to have in place to have something to promote. So how do you promote your music and figure out what the hell am I doing, and tell people what I'm doing and figure out where I'm going? Well, you want to start figuring out how people get notified to buy new things and learn about new stuff. Usually that comes from other companies. Like, we get told what to buy usually. And we talked about this before on this channel before, but we are influenced by our culture on what we like and what we choose to buy and what we don't like. So if you know for a fact that you're making an album right now and we told you it's a dope album or a dope sound that you have, how do you tell people to go buy it? Well, most people are on their phones, or most people are like you on your computer or your phone right now. And so you have to really manipulate the time that people will spend looking at that screen and making sure you're in front of them as many times, or if not the most times of the day. That's your competition as far as marketing. Because if you were to take music out of it and just kind of lay the landscape flat across of all the people competing for your attention, that would be like the people who sell the phone you're watching me on, to the glass that phone screen is behind, to the cell phone case that your phone is inside of, to the clothes you're wearing, to the seat you're sitting on. There's so many things that are trying to compete for your attention to make the sale, so that way your life can be affected or better, that you're against basically a non-stop constant threat of being uh hidden from your potential buyer or your audience or your fans and things like that. And so how do you really navigate that? One of the best ways musicians have found to do that is through the music video. And so the music video is a great way to do it because it's connected to the song. So for people who don't have the song, they have an extra layer of content, meaning visuals, on top of the song, making it a little more valuable. But at the same time, it's also a place of real estate that doesn't really go anywhere. So I'll give you an example. In the real world, if I built a restaurant, like a building, and made it into a restaurant, as long as I'm paying for it, working it, and running the business, that can exist. But as soon as I end it, sell it, or we, change the building into something else or get rid of it, that whole business has to go or change or turn into something else. And therefore it stops working for me. But if I make a song with a music video, in our example, this would be a parallel to a building with a restaurant in it being the song. Even if I stopped making music, or if I went into a different industry or died, that building, my music video, would still be able to continue to do what I needed it to do, whether it's making music or just promote my brand and make my name get out there. And so that's one of the biggest ways to do it. And now you have the same process for your music to do for your videography. So now you got to figure out, well, you pretty much mastered most of the steps, but now you have your character, your skill set, your performance, and now you're right back at product. So now, what is the thing that makes people watch a music video or watch your music videos? And then when you figure that part out, now you got to figure out, well, how do I compete with all the other music videos out there? How do I get you to not skip my video, watch my video, and then watch it to the end, and then want to come back to it the next time or share it with somebody else? This is one of those things that are really unique to you as an artist, and is going to go back to how you kind of develop your fan base and things like that. So if you have fans that love a good story, then you can package that into your music video. If you have fans that love good visuals, like they prefer to just see pretty girls or hot guys, or really cool technology and like really nice graphical landscapes and cool special effects and stuff like that, then you can incorporate that into your music videos along with the things that attract them to your song. But these are all things that you're going to have to really master. Again, we mentioned this on this channel a lot. You're going to have to master this individually. Like, you can't hire and outsource your way through your creativity. This full package thing is something that you have to tie up with a bow when you figure it all out. And then you can enter the music industry with some kind of leverage. Otherwise, you'll be playing catch up. And I've seen it. I've tried it and I've done it. And when I learned this lesson, this was probably about, for me, probably about like 6 years ago when I learned this lesson. you do wind up playing a bit of catch up, but it's a thing that you appreciate when you get there, and you appreciate other people who have it. Like I've noticed other artists who are at the position I wanted or would like to be, and they're either close to it or right up to it or already have it, and I can tell that I appreciate what they have, and I don't feel any kind of jealousy from it because I can understand what it takes to get there. And it's a thing, like I said, as a young artist, it's gonna take some time to kind of grasp it because you don't have the experience to kind of say, oh, okay, these are the things I stand on without music, or these are the things as a person that make me valuable to the music industry. So if this was interesting, let me know. I'll make more conversations like this. I don't want to take up all your time. And I will make more videos like this as long as you guys are interacting in the comment section, letting me know what you like, hitting that like button. And if you want me to dig a little bit more into this conversation, we can make part 2s and 3s and 4s and things like that. But let me know, y'all. I am out. This is a late night at Dames, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace.